Come on, you guys, let's wrap up. Let's go. 5 things. Where are you going? I sit right here.
This is Mongolian Mindset, and today we're going to be typing the CEO of Nvidia, Jensen Huang. We'll be using Linda Barrens Interaction styles and temperament combined with cognitive functions. We'll be talking about core needs, intelligence of all of those. We have all those videos broken down in our go to the playlist, how to find anyone's personality type, and you can get acclimated to my thinking when I'm going through this. Guys, we're still doing the free typing sessions by us. I think the value of that is literally fucking insane, because at this point, I do think we are by far the best people when it comes to finding someone's actual personality type. If you want to fuck around and go around and try other people, you'll be fucking around for a long time. All we ask is that you do subscribe to the channel and join our Discord. And when you join the Discord, you just go in there and request a type session, and we'll get back to you with our availability on that. And guys, I haven't did a celebrity in a long time. So if I don't get 30 likes on this one, I'm taking another fucking hiatus, okay? Another fucking hiatus. I'll take a fucking another one. So yeah. Let's go check and see what the monkeys over at Personality Database has them as. You know, they fuck up literally everyone's personality type. Like, this is the dummy base. Okay, they have Jensen as an ENTJ. That is a pretty good one, okay? I ain't too mad at that, okay? So we'll go and check the typing chart here. So ENTJs, they are direct, initiating, outcome, systematic, abstract, TFI, okay? If he meets those metrics, we'll call him an ENTJ. If he don't, we'll find his actual personality type. You know, I love Jensen Huang. He's made me a fucking ton of fucking money. I think I'm up like 1,880% on my Nvidia shares. So I love this guy. This guy's generating me a shitload of money. Okay, so these are the metrics here, and as we get them, we'll be knocking them down. We changed progression to journey focus. It's a little bit easier to dictate, easier to grasp. Outcome, I'm coming up with something in my head that will be easier in the future so everybody can grasp them. People tend to have a big problem with those two metrics there. So over time, we'll figure out the best one that we could put for outcome. But for progression, it's definitely journey. I can say outcome is big on results, so they'll be just spewing results. Yeah, let's get into it.
Jensen, thank you very much for agreeing to do this interview with me today.
You're welcome. It's a great pleasure.
It's an honor.
This boy here, he looks like an NTP, and if I had to bet my house, my life, gun to the head, I'm going to INTP.
I've read a lot about you and watched a lot of YouTube videos. You're really famous in your industry, and I just think it's amazing what you do.
Thank you.
So the goal of our discussion today is to show kids my age what you would do if you're an engineer, and
okay, so you just said the goal there, the little kid there, outcome.
To kind of persuade them to look at engineering as a possible career.
Okay. All right. What would you like to know?
So when you were my age, which is 14, did you know that you wanted to be an engineer?
Well, first of all, I think that if I were your mom, I wouldn't want me to tell you what I was doing when I was your age. I wasn't a particularly good kid. I just turned out good.
I wasn't a particularly good kid. I just turned out good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and slap him for pragmatic, okay? Pragmatic people tend to be rebellious. They tend to have a high focus on what works. David Keirsey uses the word utilitarian mindset, okay? Affiliative he uses as cooperative, okay? Rebellious kid here. We're going to hit him for pragmatic.
I was always rambunctious. I was always setting stuff on fire and
okay.
Gluing stuff together and blowing things up, and digging holes in this and building that and whatnot. So I was a rambunctious kid, but I always cared deeply about grades, and I always knew that I wanted to do something in mathematics. That was probably my favorite topic. And
I could hit him for FI there, TEFI, talking about his favorite subject there, math. But this is going to an NT off rip here. This is going to an NT, so I want to be careful with that.
Ultimately, I chose engineering because engineering has a lot of math, and for somebody who has an analytical mind, who likes to build things.
See, he's getting analytical here. We know we got an NT here.
Things, who likes to make things the world's never seen.
Things the world's never seen. So that's gonna go under the category of abstract. Okay. Make things the world has never seen. So we got him for pragmatic and abstract already. It's looking like this guy is in the intj. He's coming off very direct. So we're gonna be hunting outcome versus progression to make sure we get this right.
Engineer is the perfect career, and so I don't know when I really decided I wanted to be an engineer, but I knew that I wanted to be in the analytical fields and in math and science ever since I was quite young.
Okay.
So right there, he didn't have a desired goal right there. Seems a little bit more fluid. I would slap his ass for progression there, but let's keep going.
Wow. So you're the CEO of a company, but you're also an engineer. Do you think it's interesting and fun to be an engineer if you aren't also the CEO of a company?
Well, it turns out I never really thought that I would be a CEO. I always thought that I would be an engineer. And I would say that the funnest part of my work is when I'm doing engineering. What engineering really is understanding problems, having tools that helps you analyze problems and break the problems down into smaller pieces so that you can find...
So breaking the problems down into smaller pieces. I'm hitting for progression there, or process oriented. Just gonna hit him there. We're gonna watch it though, because sometimes TI users do like to take things down to smaller steps there, just because that's just how TI works.
Sound, mathematically sound or scientifically sound solutions for those problems. And if you were clever, you would also be able to find solutions that were innovative in some way, that the world has never thought of in some way.
The world has never thought, innovative. We get abstract here, ladies and gentlemen.
That's particularly simple, elegant, cost-effective.
Got that cost-effective TE there.
Something that's special. And so being an engineer is really about problem solving. It turns out that being a marketing person, being a marketeer is a problem solving. Being a CEO is problem solving. Being a salesperson is problem solving. Being an investor is problem solving. Most of life is really about smart problem solving, and I found that my engineering skills in problem solving and my education in first principle knowledge has really helped in almost everything that I do, including being a CEO. And if you think about what a CEO does, in the final analysis, you're trying to lead a company, a group of people, in an endeavor that is meaningful, to make a contribution to society in a way that other companies have not. And at its core, it's a problem-solving exercise. And so I think being an engineer is a great training for any CEO. And as it turns out, I learned recently, Professor Plummer I was with him yesterday, and he said he's the dean of engineering, and he showed some statistics and I think I've seen these statistics before, that
talking about statistics here, talking about TE. He did initiate that, so let's look at that. He did initiate that. topic there?
CEOs of many of the world's top 500 companies have engineering backgrounds. And so I think it stands to reason that having first principled skills in analyzing problems.
So when you think about the engineers, you got like Jeff Bezos, you got him, I think the guy from Google, you got that Lisa Lewis, the one from AMD, a lot of them. I think there's a lot of them now. Engineering is really taking over.
And coming up with clever solutions.
The other ones are like the ones who have MBAs.
Is helpful to all aspects of people's careers and life.
Yeah. And so a video I watched said that you were really shy when you were young. Do you think, and now I see you talk all the time in public, do you think that you have to overcome being shy to be good at engineering?
I'm still shy. I still don't seek out public speaking opportunities. Ask your mom. I try to resist almost all invitations.
I try to resist all invitations. I guess that seems to be SE inferior coming out there, ladies and gentlemen. Direct for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and start. He's direct, okay? Direct, abstract. We're just making sure direct and abstract. Okay, he's future focused, guys. He's trying to do things that's never been done before. He's a TFI user. Okay, and he's pragmatic. Okay, so we're looking at an intj here. We just want to make sure it's not, we're looking at it to make sure, is he ENTJ, is he INTJ? Person in our database had a good guess.
And so I'm basically still shy. When you communicate, though, when you're speaking, when you and I are speaking right now, and when I'm speaking to people I care about, or talking on a particular matter that's important to me, there's several things.
Some FI shit there. Important to me, FI.
Things that I've learned that's really about, at the core, important to communications, which is number one, know your subject matter.
All right, so the core need is coming out of an NT. Okay, the core needs of NT is understanding, mastery, competence. Okay, so the first thing that he came out, his core need just came out, boom, slapped you in the face.
Important to communications, which is number one, know your subject matter. Don't talk about things you don't know, and
Hear that?
Talk about things you do.
I think a lot of fucking INTJs and ENTJs and shit and ENTP should fucking learn that. Don't talk about shit you don't fucking know. I don't fucking know something. I'm fucking tell you, I don't fucking know.
You know, but know them. Know the things that you know, and then secondarily, or even more important than that, be thoughtful of the audience you're talking to, and be empathetic to what's important to them.
Oh, wow. And he just dropped some FE. Be empathetic. Okay.
Try to make the time that they've spent listening to you worthwhile. And so, if you care about the audience and you're empathetic to them, and you know your subject matter, and you try to keep whatever it is you're trying to say as simple and straightforward and as clear speaking as possible.
Simple, straightforward, clear as possible. That's direct language.
I found that to be wonderful communication skills. I like it when people talk to me that way. And
generally, direct people like to be around direct people. It kind of irritates them when they're dealing with informative people.
Keeping it simple, and so I try to keep it simple as well.
Okay. So what's it like to be an engineer at Nvidia? What projects do you work on? What do you do every day?
Well, if you look at Nvidia, we are the world leader in visual computing. If you can imagine this, whatever it is that you love or do.
If you can imagine this, okay, abstract, what if situation.
We are the world's best at what we do. We have lots of competition, but we have no peers. We are absolutely.
Pat yourself on the back here, buddy. You're patting yourself on the back.
best at
It's
what
true.
we do.
It's true.
Well, people who are best at visual computing or computer graphics come to work at NVIDIA. And so one of the things that's really cool about our company is that you're surrounded with people who are genuinely passionate about doing the same thing that you're trying to do in the same field. And they're the world's best at what they do. You know, if you could imagine, whether it's an Italian restaurant or a race car company or airplane company or whatever it is, this particular company is the world's best, unambiguously the world's best at what they do. Well, that's us.
It's coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. Look at his eyes lighting up. The eyes coming out. He's feeling himself.
And so we try to find projects in our company that are meaningful to do. The world's never done it before. That if we
The world's never done it before. Abstract.
Succeeded, we can make a real contribution to society, and that
SE impact
utilizes our skills in a very specific way, meaning that it makes sense that NVIDIA engineers did the work, and that if we did it, it would bring us joy. Okay, and so if you just simply summarized what I said, let's do something that matters, something that we're good at, and something that brings us joy. Okay, and so what I've just described is really the first principles of strategic thinking. And
so if you know about NTs, they have what we call strategic intelligence. Okay, strategic intelligence. That's their main focus. If you hear Kobe Bryant, he's talking about things from a strategic perspective. SPs talk about things from a tactical perspective. That's in the here, now, in the moment, improvising, overcoming, and adapting. Then you have SJs that talk about logistical intelligence, getting everything in the right place in the right time with the right people, all that crap. And then you have the NFs, which is diplomatic intelligence, building bridges between people, of that nature, okay?
It's how we decide.
We have a video on that. Go to the playlist, how to find anyone's personality type. Watch those videos.
What to work on. And of course, if it followed and satisfied the rules that I just provided, it must be
satisfies the rules that I provided, the system. And I should have hit him earlier when he was talking about first order, first this, first that system.
pretty cool. Must be pretty cool stuff. Now, of course, we're in the computer graphics business, and so video games and amazing, beautiful graphics.
See, he didn't pull it out of him. Oh, he got him. He got him in NIFI right now.
Are made possible by the work that we do, and so you could imagine how wonderful it is and how much joy
You can imagine
that it brings to be able to create these amazing imagery that comes out of the computer. And so the work that we do is inherently fun, and we're doing it with the best people in the world, and we do things that the world's never seen before. So what could be more fun than
keep going back to his abstraction. World's never seen it before, baby.
that?
So kids my age can think that engineers are geeks. Do you think that you're a geek, or that anyone that works for you is a geek?
No, I'm a pretty well-adjusted person. I'm just kidding. I mean, geeks are well-adjusted people. I think there was a time where when I was growing up, I'm not a football player, and I wasn't a basketball player, and I wasn't an athlete, and most people who enjoy computers or who likes math and science are holed up in computer clubs after school.
NT core.
And so we're not out and about.
And we did talk about this when we talked about NT children. Okay, a lot of times you will find us doing nerdy shit, very nerdy. Okay.
Very often, and so the people we hang out, all of us that hang out together, we don't dress that well. We don't look
dress that well, especially the INTPs. Shout out to the INTPs.
that cool. You love math. What can you do? Now, it turns out that most of my friends that loved computers and loved math and loved science, they turned out to have been pretty cool guys. And I married a really cool engineer. My wife is an engineer, and she turned out really cool. And so it's not so bad being a geek these days. It's more cool than it used to be.
I heard from someone that there was never a problem you couldn't fix. Do you think that's true, or was there a problem that you
Bullshit.
couldn't fix?
There's some problems you can't fix. I don't recall one. And the reason for that is because either you find a solution for it or you change the problem so that you can find a solution for it. And I think...
change the problem. That sounds like a progression type thing. Change it, move around it. Move around it, motherfucker. Keep it moving.
In a lot of ways, some people call that thinking out of the box. If you can't solve something, it either sometimes is not meant to be solved, or you can change the problem, in a way that is solvable. Now, there are some problems that if you try to solve it in the most literal sense, it would take a long time to solve. It might take a lot of money to solve. It might take an enormous amount of cost, in time or resource or whatever it is, or materials. But if you change the problem and you truly understand what is the person really trying to ask? What is at the core of that problem? Maybe you can express that problem in a slightly different way, and as a result, it becomes solvable, and a solution can be found. Maybe you can simplify the problem. Maybe you can break the problem down into 10 pieces, and that you would solve it over time.
Break it down 10 pieces in overtime progression.
And there's a lot of different ways to look at the problem. And smart thinking about a problem is really at the beginning of engineering. It's asking the question, what is this problem really about? What is this problem really about? And oftentimes, by asking that question, what is this problem really about? What are they really asking? What are we really looking for? How can I express this problem in different ways? When you think about it that way, all of a sudden, the number of solutions really expand.
Once people get their engineering degree, there aren't very many opportunities. Do you think that's going to change in the future?
This kid's INTP.
There are always opportunities for people who are empathetic to the challenges that are out there,
FE, huh?
and can adapt themselves to find a solution for those challenges. And if you're trained as an engineer, but you turned out to be a lawyer, you trained
yourself to what you call it. I hit him for progression there.
As an engineer, you turned out to be a marketing person. You trained as an engineer, you turned out to be a CEO. You trained as an engineer, you turned out to be an artist. I think that it almost doesn't matter.
Okay, so he right here is really hammering progression there. You trained as this, you end up as this, right? That's telling you that it's about more of the journey than anything. Damn, I'm glad I was like zoning out and I caught that shit.
Person. You trained as an engineer, you turned out to be a CEO. You trained as an engineer, you turned out to be an artist. I think that it almost doesn't matter what the end profession is.
Oh God, it doesn't matter about the end result. Lord have mercy. Boy, I was zoning out and I still caught that shit. We got an INTJ here, ladies and gentlemen. We got an INTJ here. He's 6W5, problem solving motherfucker. I'm gonna hit him for SX/SO. Okay.
I think the most important thing about engineering is that you're learning life skills about asking the right questions and breaking down problems and finding solutions to it that are elegant and optimal, and have the life skills to continuously improve and
continuously improve progression.
All of those skills are really all that engineering teaches us, along with, of course, a lot of first principle knowledge that is when applied helps us find more elegant solutions. And so that's really all engineering is about. And if you're open-minded about what passion you will have and what interest will draw you in, You don't have to just be a computer engineer. You don't have to be a chip design engineer or a software engineer or, you know, a search engine engineer or whatever it is. You don't let anybody pigeonhole you, and you decide, you know, what work brings you the most joy. But the engineering foundation teaches you how to be a better problem solver for whatever that career happens to be. And so, problem solving is life. You know, problem solving is life, and what could be better preparation for life than to have the world's best skills for problem solving? And so that's the way to think about engineering, and I think that the career opportunities for young engineers is growing, if anything. You know, and we now know that being trained as an engineer doesn't mean you necessarily have to be an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
You know, you could be all kinds of things. Just the engineering training is invaluable either way.
Yeah. What's the hardest part of being an engineer? The hard classes or the competition for college spots and jobs once you're done?
First of all, there's always a college. And so winning should not be winning a spot, earning a spot, succeeding. Those shouldn't be expectations that you have of yourself, frankly. You know, I'm a big believer that doing your best is more important than winning. And the reason for that isn't that winning doesn't matter. Getting into Stanford was important to me, and coming to school here was important to me. Getting the best grades was important to me. And doing well in school was important to me. Doing well at work is important to me. Winning at work is important to me. I want our company to do well. I want us to be the best. That's important to me. However, setting the expectation that you will be the best, that you are going to be number one, that you have to go to this particular college or whatever it is, might set such a high expectation it prevents people from even starting. There are only so many people who are going to win the US Open. There are only going to be so many people who are going to be world champions. It shouldn't be the expectation to go down the journey. And I genuinely believe
there we go, going down the journey, progression, guys.
That the journey is ultimately the best part.
The journey is the best part. Okay, we got him, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I'm not trying to reach anywhere. I'm not trying to get anywhere. I'm just trying to have fun as I go.
I'm just trying to have fun as I go. Progression.
If that's the philosophy, then I would say that all kids ought to go to school, and they ought to go to college. They ought to endeavor whatever field that they want to endeavor, whether it's quantum physics or biomedicine or robotics or, you know, whatever, and whatever field, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Just go do it. Just enjoy it. And
enjoy the journey, ladies and gentlemen.
There will be a school. There will be a job, and with that belief, you can start the journey. You know, if you set too high expectations from the get-go, it might be so high an expectation that most people then run away from even trying. Yeah. And so I think trying, as you know, it was a Benjamin Franklin that said waking up is
TE reference. Benjamin Franklin
is half the battle. I think it is true. Just getting to work is half the battle, and getting to school is half the battle, and the rest of it is just enjoy your way there and do your absolute best, and try to live life with no regrets. And if you did your best, what's there to regret?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for.
All right, guys, we're done here. He's an INTJ. I always say that. Live your life like you got one arrow and you got to make it. I mean, you shooting one bow and arrow and you got to make it through 3 rings. Okay, through 3 separate rings. I think it's what in the Odysseus movie. Okay, how he proved that he was Odysseus. Think about life like that. That's how I live my life. So, guys, yes, he's journey focused, guys. He just went on a journey focused rant there. So he's an INTJ. INTJs are responding. Seemed like he's more responding role there. Yeah, SENI, but sometimes you get those sneaky INTJs who, they still have their INTJ core, but they have learned to initiate. You'll see that with like people like Deion Sanders, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But at the end of the day, they're process oriented. Okay, so that's why I don't really look as much for initiating versus responding. That's like a cool. I'm really looking for journey versus outcome. So we got him as INTJ here. Jensen Huang. I'm gonna hit him for 6W5. Okay. And I'm going to hit him. He could be social, but I'm gonna hit him for sexual / SO. He's definitely prodigy level. Okay, he's a prodigy. INTJ. I could hit him for demigod, but whatever. So prodigy level INTJ 6W5 X sexual / SO. And I'm between dominant and creative, not creative, dominant and normalizing. Okay. I mean, and I mean, me personally, I'm gonna go normalizing here, because compared to when I think about the subsets, I think about if I stuck 100 INTJs in a room, okay, where would he rank? Okay, and the dominant ones, I would put like Kobe Bryant, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Deion Sanders. Like, these guys are extremely dominant. Like, they stick out so bad that it's just unbelievable. So if I had 100 INTJs, where would I rank him? I'd put him normalizing. Okay. A lot of the dominant INTJs will talk about visualization. They're going to be visualization heavy. That's just what I've noticed. So like when I'm making that assessment, I just think about, like, if I was to put 100 INTJs in a room, where would this person fall? Okay, obviously he's not harmonizing. He did say some FE stuff in there, and that's wonderful. I mean, like I tell every NTJ, bro, you're really not gonna go anywhere until you learn to start actually helping people. Once you start learning to help people, your life will move forward in leaps and bounds. But comment below, guys. If I don't get 30 likes on this video, I ain't doing another typing session. I'm taking a hiatus. So you better fucking comment, and you better fucking like the video. And this is Mongolian Mindset. We're out.